Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Cup Heroes 2 replay, straight from the Live Games lobby. Spawn on the left side as the blue OKW player, we've got Maxtasy. Spawn on top right side as the red Soviets, who's going for tier 1, we got Flash. And let me disable my OBS preview there, because it does help save some resources. No second comm engineers, going straight into penals, all conscript bulletins, no penal bulletins. Over here we do have the kicking the bucket, which usually means you die quicker. Veteran infantry, and of course the ability recharge ability. Double Kubelwagen, so we're going to see some fun OKW. I'm always here for it. Though, since his opponent's going for penals, which means possibly PTRSs, he can easily pull out a very hard counter if he goes for a third Kubelwagen of the sword. Sometimes I like to go for, I tend to go off meta. I like to go for double Sturm Pioneer into a Kubelwagen or two, because then I try to go for Jaeger Light Infantry, usually through Scavenge, not Overwatch. Potion makers are always quite nice as well. And sometimes go for the Fear Storm, and then probably sort of rush out a Lux and go for a mechanized play. Not for mass flame engineers. It's weird. I have a weird opinion when it comes to Shun Pioneers. I feel like Shun Pioneers, they do great on duel between, say, one unit, such as combat engineers. But if you're charging two combat engineers into like two rifleman squads, it feels like they lose more often than one penal squad charges into a rifleman squad. So they're the one of the few units I'll say they're more of a duelist, which is something that doesn't really exist in this game. Oh. I was going to say Penal PTRS is a good hard counter to Kubelwagen, but apparently Penals and their SVT rivals are also a pretty good hard counter. Due to the high rate of fire of some of the semi-automatics, they tend to do quite well versus light initial vehicles, such as rear echelon over riflemen, because rear echelon tend to be higher rate of fire and the rounds tend to more reliably hit the lighter vehicles with our larger target size. So rear echelon does surprisingly well for Kubelwagens for their cost compared to riflemen. Volksrunners do get a bit of damage on that conscript. So it looks like he went for penal into conscript into penal. That's an interesting build. Excuse me, build order. First auction, so you can bring in some airborne troop tactics, get some SVTs or PPSHs for penals. Guard mortar coordination tactics for the various guards and 120mm mortar, and the community defense adoption. Since he's gone for tier 1, he may go for community defense. Though OKW is where you don't really want M42s. M42s are much better versus Wehrmacht austere rather than OKW. Shun Pioneers getting nice and close to the penal squad, forcing back. Conscript squad plinking away. This penal squad as well, getting a lot of bounces there overall. We do now have an M3 in the build queue. Kubelwagen firing away against the penal squad. Shun Pioneers advance way forward, get a bit of damage on the conscripts. Shun Pioneers taking a little bit of damage.
Command has authorized the use of radio silence.
As special operations not available, you can bring in a Sturm officer. Folks building some sandbags here. Shun Pioneers providing some good heavy cover. Flamethrower. Got the clown car advancing its way forward. Volksrunners do have not access to Panzerfaust. He needs to get this building upgraded before it gets the Panzerfaust. And this Volksrunners probably needs to fall back. It's going to get overrun by penal squads. There's not much he can't get inside the garrison. Penal squad get inside the garrison. Cannon Warfare is a good idea. Medic's almost deployed. The OKW player is low on manpower. And now, Volks did take minimal damage up there. A moment to move stuff around because I realized the drink is not next to my right hand. I use the macros I have installed is basically keys rebound on my keyboard, allows me to use WASD to move around the camera. So I like using that. It's easier for me to keep track of. It's something that I've gotten more fond of. I know some players don't like this. I like this, hence why I remap keys to be like this. And weirdly enough, the game that convinced me this is actually a good way to move around the camera while your mouse move around and keep on holding stuff so you don't have to slam the side of your screen in order to move the camera and then try to get back in the center of the map or the center of the screen with your cursor. The game that taught me this, as this is a good way to move around the camera, is RimWorld. Because originally RimWorld did not have edge camera panning back in its earlier betas, I believe. Or at least that's how my game, for some weird reason, was like. Because I think I tend to put everything window borderless, and I prefer windowed over full screen. Because like the Alt tab, has multiple monitors. We do now have Incendiary Grenade on the penal squad. Ryan comes for a little bit of flank. Garrison does get re-garrisoned. M3 never went down, just was severely wounded, now nearly at full health. The Volkswagens did plink it a little bit. Guvagon will likely go down, getting set ablaze. This Mechanical is fully withdrawing from the penal squad, so the Guvagon shall go down. Does get burned alive. Incendiary Grenade could be from the garrison. The cutoff sector is being decaptured. Got the Volkswagens up here engaging the conscripts. Volkswagens who fall back. Got some STGs now pulling the field. We got a lag. Got now a lag on the field. He's also lacking a bit of infantry because he lost his investment into 2 Guvagens and both are gone. So maybe ready to round his composition with a Sturm officer. Good lag smoke there. Oh, landmine. Is that out of control? Yep, looks like it's out of control. It's no longer out of control. Now it's out of control. Well, I suppose the fire's out of control. Good landmine placement there. I see another Soviet landmine here. So there was a single shoe mine. He replaced the shoe mine with freighter with a Soviet landmine. Carcass being salvaged. Very nice. Let's give him a pitiful amount of fuel. To be honest, I know people say, oh, people should use the salvage ability more often. The best thing about salvageability is not necessarily getting resources, just to rip apart your opponent's weapons off and just destroy them. That's the best thing about the salvageability. Now some more landmines being built, very nice. He does have a bit of munitions floats, 57 munitions per minute. Very, very high munitions income because the majority of the map captured. He has 48 fuel per minute as well. I see a vehicle, got T-70 on the field. Stone Pioneers advance way forward. They do have extra 1, which means stun grenade. Which really means he should throw a stun grenade right here. He's out of munitions now. Throws Incendiary Grenade instead. Got a lot of good damage there. Does he have medics? Yes, he does. It'll take a bit of time to heal up all those men. Oh, landmine detonation down here. Volkswagen down to a single model.
Our superiors have given us 120mm mortars. Guard rifle infantry squads can now be called to fight for the motherland.
Volks falls back. The Kenworth needs to fall back. The OKW player's not in a great position right now. Finds another landmine. But the Kenworth itself took some damage. MG-34 firing against the conscripts. And the Kenworth shouldn't be too aggressive and push along the flanks. Let's get the crew there because he needs, that's his only source AT. So he never saw the T-70 till now. Had the Stone Pioneers trying to pick up the Kenworth first, or maybe not. Trying to go forward for our pass falls. The Kenworth has been reclaimed. Volks has taken a bit of damage. Now got smoke barrage there. He has activated recon mode, very nice. Volks need to fall back, they're very wounded. And throwing incendiary grenades like that's not being too effective. The carcass is still existing, but will probably be destroyed, so that cannot be salvaged. And it looks like less and less likely for the OKW to salvage the game entirely, let alone some wreckages. He still's not got any more assets in the field. His opponent has now 120mm mortar. Doesn't have tier 4 just yet, but he has enough resources for it. And by the time it gets built, he probably has enough resources to get out T-34 76. Gonna go for a straight forward. May need to get the fan structure upgrade on the Shun Pioneers, but simply just throwing those munitions and those semi grenades. Now we got the Engineers supplying out 2 or 4. And squads behind some good heavy cover. Shun Pioneers, of course, can throw a stun grenade. Kind of trying to set up an angle there on the T-70, but having a bit of trouble. And now with the flamethrower pushing his way forward. Kenworth just soft trading on back. 120mm mortar barraging down over here. The lag itself is almost decrewed. It may have been a barrage onto the lag. Got a Shun Pioneer. We got now double the Kenworth here in the field, and though could have heard back to the game. This is a great scene. Thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.